A judge who has made Trump's life hell with absurd rulings is finally getting some payback. And it's really one step in accountability to get this judge out of his position of authority where he's abused it for far too long. But before we get into the story, please like, comment, and share at Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Pam Bondi is finally doing something about Judge Jeb Boasberg. He has been a thorn in the side as Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court in D.C. Of Trump and his officials, just ruling after ruling, just head-scratching, deep state, swamp politics. Well, Bondi confirmed that the DOJ has filed a formal misconduct complaint against Judge Boasberg for making inappropriate and biased comments about President Trump. Not behind closed doors, but in front of Chief Justice John Roberts and a room full of federal judges. Bondi said, quote, "These comments have undermined the integrity of the judiciary. We will not stand for that," unquote. Well, let's break this down. Back in March, Boasberg attended a closed-door session of the Judicial Conference of the United States, which is a meeting meant to focus on logistics, funding, and facilities. But instead, Boasberg went rogue. According to the DOJ complaint, he warned the judges that the Trump administration would ignore federal court rulings and trigger a so-called constitutional crisis. But there was no basis for this invective. Trump's administration has complied with every lawful court order, and Boasberg's outburst wasn't based on facts. It was based on personal bias. And let's not forget he presided over the FISA court. So Boasberg tried to block the violent Venezuelan gang members from being deported. And this is part of a lawful action that Trump is taking against criminal gang members and even terroristic activity on U.S. soil. The Supreme Court had to vacate his ruling. And that Boasberg doubled down by attacking DOJ lawyers, and Trump officials accused him of acting more like an activist with a gavel than a neutral judge. So Bondi's DOJ is fighting back. And she said, Judge Boasberg's words and deeds violate the canons of judicial conduct. They erode public confidence in the courts and warrant a formal investigation, unquote, she said in the letter. The DOJ wants Boasberg removed from the deportation case immediately and referred to a special investigative committee. And that's not all. This is the second time under Bondi that the DOJ has filed misconduct complaints against activist judges. The first came against Judge Anna Reyes in February, another Trump antagonist. So why does this matter? Because for years, Trump's critics on the bench have weaponized their robes to block lawful executive actions. And now they're finally being held accountable. Boasberg isn't just a judge. He's a symbol of the D.C. swamp judiciary, unelected, unaccountable, and openly hostile to a duly elected president. Well, it's time to put that era of abuse to an end. If you have any comments on this story, please like, comment, share. We appreciate your feedback.